shakalaka!
Get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! And the Cavaliers by three.
Slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you want to jam.
Yo-ho! Welcome back, friends, to the Ultimate Warriors podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you all giving us a listen. I'm Ben Christopher, and if you like basketball, you're going to love our podcast. If you like the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're really going to love our podcast. And if you like NBA Jam, this will eventually be your favorite podcast ever. But people, I'm not alone. I've got my brother, literally my younger brother. He goes by many names. Teddy, Tedward, Teddy C, Teddy Ballgames, Teddy Turnovers, Teddy Two Fingers, Teddy Two Faults. But as we all know him, Teddy Ballgame. What's up, Ted? How are you, man? I'm sure you had a great Valentine's Day. What's going on?
Yeah, I did. Not much going on. Just getting ready for the Cavs game here to start. But yeah, just ready to talk some Cavs.
We're coming off a brutal week, man. We are in this really hard stretch of our schedule. We've got the Warriors tonight. It's almost tip-off. We're right about 10 o'clock, and there's nobody that I would rather beat than the Warriors. So, yeah, I would really like to see that. Ted, I hope you survive this snowstorm that's coming. It's like the worst snowstorm that Ohio's seen all year. So, I hope you survive that. The Cavs have not done a good job of surviving this past week. They've now fallen to 10-18. So, really letting us down. We knew this would be a brutal part of the schedule, but I was hoping we could get a few. But hey, before we get into that, we have a third Ultimate Warrior, and I should let him tell everybody what to expect from our show. So DJ Andrew Smith, that's your DJ's favorite DJ. Andy, why don't you let everybody know exactly what they can expect today? Because you could do it better than I ever can.
DJ Andrew Smith. Ultimate Warriors were live and direct. Got them throwback vibes like it's Funk Master Flex. Too dangerous, like driving when you text. It's a blockbuster, baby. Jurassic Park, T-Rex, Ben's in the building, and he's spitting the truth. More Jack than McGuire, but without the juice. Killer on the court and killer on the pod. Y'all better get ready to make your head nod. Ted's a born baller. He's bigger than Hova. Got chicks every day. Mr. Casanova, never growing up like he's Peter Pan. Does 30 mil a month on his OnlyFans. It's DJ Andrew Smith, man. No one do it better. Lactose intolerant, but still getting cheddar. Thanks for tuning in, and y'all guys are the best. Let's go, Cavs, and God bless. DJ Andrew Smith.
Why is he so good at that? Why is it so good?
Dude, the lactose cheddar line got me going. That's hilarious.
That's my favorite part of every week is when we get to hear from him. But so before we get into the NBA, I should mention, guys, we are brought to you by Mark One Sports. We are the Cleveland Cavaliers podcast of the Mark One Sports Network. Check out the Mark One Sports Show. Tabor covers everything sports, especially Cleveland sports. He also covers current news, movies, whatever's hot. He's going to be covering it. So you're going to want to listen to that. Check out CLE Tribecast, Jeremy Lawless and Kevin Sleds. They are awesome to listen to. And, I started my podcasting career with Jeremy, and they've just gotten so much better. I'm very proud of him. So you definitely want to check that out. They'll tell you how we can win the World Series next year. And then, of course, the Danger Zone. Danger with a 6 for the G because, Baker Mayfield's the freaking man. So Rich and Josh, they're going to bring you everything you need to know about the Cleveland Browns, who in my expert opinion, Ted, they're going to be winning the Super Bowl next year. So you're going to want to listen to that. And they'll tell you exactly how that can happen. And you guys know how much I know football. But we are here for NBA. So let's talk some NBA, Ted. We had we had quite the week for the Cavs. And by quite the week, I mean it was a bunch of shit.
Yes, very
So,
much so.
the Cavs lost every game. We had a bunch of injuries, and Andre Drummond is apparently on the outs. So,
Yeah.
Ted, if you don't mind, can you just kind of let everyone know what's going on with Drummond? Where do you think he's going? Like,
Yeah.
he's real quick. He started the season off so well. I was so happy. He I think he still does leads the league in rebounding, and we were
Yeah.
giving it to him in the paint, like closing possessions. He was our go-to guy. It was really cool to see because I wasn't sure what to expect from him. It seems like since we got Jared Allen, it's completely changed. So,
Right.
anyways, with that in mind, Ted, what the hell's going on with Drummond?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew this was going to happen, especially once we made that Allen trade. The writing was on the wall that Drummond was going to be out. So I don't think anybody's caught by surprise on this one. Drummond has been playing really well this year for us, so it is sad, but we got to get Allen in there building chemistry with the other young guys. So
Right.
it's time to pull the trigger on the Drummond trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry. Got a little frog in my throat there. No.
I actually have some Drummond trades here that I was going to run by you.
Yeah.
And see what your thoughts are on him.
Let's hear him.
He is going to be a free agent at the end of this year, so
Right.
we're not going to be able to get too much for him, especially with that big contract he's got. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one. This one would be with the Hornets,
Okay.
and we would get Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo, and Malik Monk. So Malik Monk, he's having a decent year for him, but he's their fourth guard. He would probably
Right.
be the best of the three. And we would probably waive one of those centers if we did that trade. And
Yeah.
whoever we kept would be the backup to Allen.
So we had the other Zeller brother. So it seems appropriate that this one would come to Cleveland at some point in his career. It just seems like something they would do. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not my favorite trade. I'm interested to see what else you have.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can get, even if it's a draft pick, just something a little bit more. We're not going to pay Drummond what he wants, so I'm completely fine with trading him. We've talked about this before, Ted, or in other podcasts. I thought we'd be right in the playoff hunt, and we still are. We're actually not too far from that. But these past 2 weeks have been absolutely brutal. And so it's like, why not get some assets and just help your young guys out?
Right. Yeah, and I think that would be a sweet trade for the Hornets, honestly. I think that would help their team out. They've been quite the surprise this year, so
there goes our playoff spot. The Hornets are going there. No,
right.
They've been great. They have been one of my favorite NBA League Pass teams to watch this year.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball, he's been balling out there. So here's another one for you. This one would be with the Mavericks. So it would be
Luka for Drummond, straight up.
Luka for straight up. No, this one I actually don't like this one at all. This one we'd get Dwight Powell, James Johnson, and then 2 second-round picks. And we would probably waive James Johnson in this trade and keep Dwight Powell as a backup center. And then we get those 2 draft picks. So do you like that one? And do you think that would be a good trade for the Mavericks?
Oh, it'd be great for the Mavericks. They need help right now. Luka needs help. Porzingis he keeps getting hurt. I mean, Luka Doncic needs somebody there, and Andre Drummond would at least bring them some toughness, some rebounding, some pick and roll threat. But for the Cavs, I just want a first round pick. That's what I really want.
I know. If we can get a first round pick, that should probably be the goal. But I love that trade. I love that trade for the Mavericks. I think Drummond next to Porzingis would be I think that's a perfect combo there for the bigs. So if they can pull that off, good for them. But I'm not a huge fan for the Cavs on that one.
Yeah, no, if the Mavericks pulled that off, I mean, look, we're gonna get pennies on the dollar. Like we know he's
Right.
leaving. We're not re-signing him. So
Yeah.
if what it takes is to get a few second round picks, if that's the best you can do, which I really hope it's not, then I could see us doing it. But yeah, no, for the Mavericks, I mean, that gives them. That gives them a really tough center. And when you're playing against the Lakers in the playoffs with Anthony Davis, you need
Yeah.
somebody down low. So
Yeah.
it,
Luka would be able to throw a bunch of lobs to him too. That'd be fun to watch.
that would be so fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, here's another one for you. This one's a three-way, and it involves the Mavericks again, but
Okay.
the Knicks would get Drummond in this one. And to keep it simple, I'll just tell you who the Cavs would get in this one. I won't go over the whole trade.
Okay.
So Drummond would go to the Knicks, and we would get James Johnson again, a
course.
second-round pick, and Kevin Knox from the Knicks, who's still very young.
I
And he's
know.
a high pick. He's got potential. I kind of like that one actually. If we could get Knox.
Yeah, we could use some guard help right now. But yeah, with Knox, I've always liked Knox. Probably I shouldn't like him because he really hasn't done that much. But
Right.
in my mind, like every week, I'm like, all right, he's about to pick it up and like really
Yeah.
break out. So that's probably my favorite one so far. I still would just prefer like a first round pick.
Yeah.
But I think so. The Knicks, they're trying to make a splash. They're in the playoff hunt. They're in the playoffs if they started
Yeah.
today. So I could see where they would want Drummond, and they probably would re-sign him because they like to pay people a lot of
That's
money.
true.
So they probably would re-sign him. So that would be good.
Yeah,
for
they
them.
can't get anybody else to go there, so they probably would re-sign him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's probably my favorite one out of those, but I still don't love it. You got any other ones,
Yeah.
or was that it?
Oh, I got a couple more here.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I'm high on Kevin Knox. He's like
Yeah.
6'8" too, so he's
Yep.
like a tall guard.
Great defender.
I wouldn't mind having him. Yeah. This one's simple. I don't expect us to do this one, but it would be to the Spurs, and it would just be Drummond for Aldridge and a second round pick. And it would basically just be a salary
Right.
dump for the
Yeah,
Spurs.
both of their contracts expire this year, right? So we're pretty much just trading people, or does Aldridge have another year?
I think Aldridge might have one more year, but he's
Okay.
having a down year.
He is.
And I think they would just do that to flop
Right.
to get it. I mean, Drummond's 27 and Aldridge is like 35, 36 now, so he's getting up there.
Yeah. I don't think that one makes any sense for us. Just
Yeah,
we don't need another old player. I want to grow this core, so whether it's draft picks or Knox, like somebody who can possibly grow with this core.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get pennies on the dollar. We're not going to get Luka Doncic or anything like that. So I understand
Right.
that, but somebody young who can grow with this core. We need to find one of those playoff teams that is hoping to maybe make a run, win two, maybe like the Mavericks and the Knicks. So
Yeah.
I don't like the Spurs.
Yeah.
The Spurs always. I mean, they're always in the playoff mix, but I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't. That's probably my least favorite one of all the ones here. This next one is the one that's got the most traction going on right now, I guess you could call it. It's with the Raptors. I guess they've been in talks with the Raptors
Wait,
about
Ted, are
trading.
they gonna trade some poutine? They're gonna send us a bunch of poutine, and then we get
all you
Drummond,
can eat.
or they
all
get
you can eat
Drummond.
poutine.
Ooh, okay, yeah, I'm in.
I would be in on that. Poutine is delicious. No, but in this one, we would get Norman Powell, Aaron Baines, Stanley Johnson, and Patrick McCaw. All four for Drummond there.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, those are not guys that are going to help us win a championship. They're all guys who can play, so
Right.
they could help us with our rotation is so devastated right now with all these injuries we have. So it gives us a lot of depth. So I could see where that might be good, but still, I want that young. I want a pick or a young guy.
Yeah.
That's probably my second favorite one, not because I love the players as much, but they could help our rotation, which we really need right now. But I say we counter that trade and say we want all the poutine you have, because if you don't like French fries with gravy on them, then you're un-American, even though
That's very true. Gravy. Who doesn't like gravy? That's and French fries. Those are everybody loves them.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, there's another version of this deal to the Raptors that I actually like better than that one, and it would be a 3-way with the Nuggets. The Nuggets would get involved.
Okay.
And the Nuggets would actually get all 4 of those players I just mentioned.
Okay.
And we would get Gary Harris.
Oh, okay.
And a first-round pick for the Nuggets. So that one we would get back a first.
That's my favorite one. I thought you were going to say Michael Porter Jr. for a second. I was like, do it right now.
I wish. If we could get him, that would be – they're not going to give him up.
Yeah, it would be very difficult, but Drummond would really help them.
Yeah, he would. Drummond would go to the Raptors on that one, not the Nuggets.
Oh, okay.
So he would still end up with the Raptors in that one. But I think Gary Harris is good. And the last one, if we're getting Powell, Baines, Johnson, I think that's too many guys, honestly.
Right.
So I would rather get Harris, who could help us out this year. He's a solid player, good defender. And then we also get that first-round pick, which will probably be somewhere in the 20s. But still, it's first rounder. So that one's probably my favorite.
That is my favorite. Like I said, I want that young piece, even though we don't know who it is, the first round pick. Look, thanks, Drummond. We loved you here, but we appreciate you getting us a pick and move on.
Yeah. No, that's probably my favorite. Second would be the one going to the Knicks, because I like Kevin Knox. He's at least a young player with some potential still, but those are all the trade scenarios I have for you. So we can move on unless you got anything else you want to add there.
That's it. No, I mean, unless we can trade him for Jokic, to the Nuggets.
That would be nice.
But that'll never happen. No, that's it. Those are all good possibilities, and it shows you the value of somebody who's coming on that expiring contract and who's going to be demanding a lot of money come free agency. So. Yeah. But hey, I mentioned it earlier, Ted. The Cavs have been sucking really bad the past really 2 weeks. It's so funny. It was so predictable. We talked about this stretch of their schedule. Yeah. Very hard, very difficult. They've done worse than we expected, and I think injuries have a lot to do with that. I was hoping we would steal the one against the Suns. I thought maybe we would get the Blazers. I do know we're going to win tonight against the Warriors because, the Warriors, they suck. I hate the Warriors. But anything stand out to you from that losing streak? I mean, I really feel like injuries have really just killed us here.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of a 7-game losing streak, and to me, it's been all about our defense right now, or lack of it, I guess you could say.
Right.
With Larry Nance being out, obviously it kills us, but it's still no excuse to be giving up 120 to 130 points a game. The only team that didn't put up over 120 in this stretch were the Suns, who scored 119. So they basically scored
without Chris Paul.
Without Chris Paul. So unless we start playing defense, we're probably going to keep losing when we're playing good teams. So we need to pick that up. The last 2 years, defense, we were worst in defensive efficiency. And at times this year, at the beginning, when we were playing well, we were actually number one in that. We were playing at a very high level on the defensive end. And we've dropped down to 22 now in defensive efficiency. So that just goes to show you we're not competing on that end. So unless we pick that up, we're not going to beat these good teams.
Yep.
Anything stuck out to you?
No, I mean, I'm just looking for we've got a couple more hard games here coming up. Again, the Warriors tonight. As much as I like to crack on the Warriors, they're playing really well this year, so this is going to be a tough battle. Um, but one thing that is kind of positive, exciting news is we might see Kevin Love again. Um, are you excited about that, Ted? What do you think that would do for the team?
Yeah, I am excited for that, actually. I mean, he's going to help our offense. Our offense during this stretch really hasn't looked great either. We've been playing a lot of ISO ball. And when we were playing Allen and Drummond together, starting them,
Yeah.
that was not fun to watch. There was no spacing on the floor. It was just a disaster. So if we can get Kevin Love back, get that floor spacer, the stretch four. He's also an underrated passer, so hopefully that gets the ball moving, and we're not playing as much ISO ball there. But yeah, we need something that could be a spark to get us off this little schneid that we're going through.
My only hope is that it's not too late. Like we're in this weird spot now where I would love to make the playoffs, make that play-in game, but you're almost in that spot where, like, is it better to get a good draft pick? So we're in this weird spot. If you would have asked me a week ago, I'd say bring him back right now. Like, we're right there. Let's go. We've just unfortunately couldn't catch a break against these tough Western teams. So I'm excited. I believe Kevin Love just got engaged as well to a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. So good for him. Yeah. So go Kevin Love. He doesn't even have to play basketball. He's getting millions of dollars and scoring some hot chicks. But Ted, you know all about scoring swimsuit models, so I don't have to tell you.
Damn right. I'm about to be a stay-at-home boyfriend. Start dating models.
Heck yeah, man. So there's a few other things to just kind of talk about here, touch on. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was incredible last year, but historically he gets injured a lot, and he just got injured again. So I don't know. What do you think that does for so I think it gives LeBron like an awesome opportunity to take his fifth MVP, lead his team. He doesn't have to win every game, but this like gives him another chance to be like, hey, look, I'm the freaking man. I don't know. What do you think about that for the Lakers? Do you think this really hurts them? Where do you see this taking them?
I just think they need to be very careful because he, like you said, he is pretty fragile and he gets hurt a lot. And if they don't have him, they have no chance at winning a title.
Right.
So I just think they just need to be, very careful with that, not rush him back. They're going to make the playoffs whether he's playing or not. So I'm not worried in that sense. Like, they're still going to win games. LeBron's going to put up huge stats. I don't know if he'll be able to win the MVP unless he ends up missing like the rest of the regular season or something. But I think it's just supposed to be 2 to 3 weeks.
I think, I was thinking 3 to 4, but it very well could.
Okay.
Yeah, right around.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll win MVP though, because Jokic is playing out of his mind over there. He's almost averaging a triple-double from the center spot. So I don't know if he'll be able to catch him.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
So the Nuggets, I don't want to say they're a surprise because they were in the West Finals last year. They beat the Clippers. They played the Lakers in the finals. But one team that is a bit of a surprise is the Utah Jazz. And I mean, they've been good for several years, but as things stand right now, they're the number 1 seed in the West. So they're ahead of the Clippers. They're ahead of the Lakers. They're ahead of the Nuggets. They're ahead of the, Phoenix Suns we talked about, just all these great teams. So that's something that's really surprised me. And then on the other side, you have the 76ers, who also the 76ers are on top of the East, and everybody knew the Sixers would be good.
Right.
But I don't think a lot of people had them winning the East, especially with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden on the Nets. So that's been pretty cool to see, especially because everybody keeps talking about should you blow up the Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid duo, and they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna win the East," and like,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Like, it's crazy how close they were to
Right.
potentially winning a championship when I
Yeah,
mean, Kawhi Leonard hit that crazy game winner in Game 7. So if that doesn't go in and they end up beating the Raptors, who knows? They could have potentially even won a championship that year.
and the year before that, they lost to the Celtics, and I want to say it was 7 games, maybe 6, but it was like whoever won that series, was going to play the Cavs back in 2018. And,
Yeah.
And that was like Ben Simmons, like sophomore year or whatever, like just, and he didn't even play his rookie year. So technically his rookie year was just crazy.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. They surrounded him with more shooters. And I mean, Doc Rivers over there now, he's doing a good job there, but
Yeah.
I don't think they should have blown it up. So I'm glad they didn't, but
Right.
the
Same.
Jazz out West, I'm surprised with them, but you think about the playoffs last year, they didn't have Bogdanovic, who averages 18 points a game for them, right around there. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was a huge loss for them in the playoffs last year, not having him,
Crazy.
or the bubble, I should say.
Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, the Jazz, man. Man, I should put my John Stockton jersey on and just like I love watching them. I know I mentioned this on the pod. I went to the game, Cavs versus Jazz. They're freaking good, man. They
Oh,
beat us
yeah.
by like 40 points, and like, it was great. They were fun to watch. So I
They
was
don't-
like, towards the end of the game, I was like, all right, go Jazz. Like, good for you guys.
they're playing without Mike Conley right now too.
Yeah.
He's hurt, so they're doing it with whoever they got, which is what you got to do.
So I've got one more thing. Blake Griffin. He wants out of Detroit. It looks like they are also going to be trying to trade him. They obviously traded Andre Drummond last year.
Right.
They're the worst team in the league by far, right? Like
I would say so. Yeah.
especially you lose Blake. Blake Griffin. He's playing okay. He's shooting a lot better than a lot of people thought he could. So shooting percentage is decent, but yeah, I'm glad I'm not a Pistons fan.
Ben, he's averaging 12 points a game right now and 5 rebounds. That's it. That's so low. I think he's washed up. I mean, his game was always predicated on his athleticism, and he's had so many injuries. He's getting up there in age. I don't think they're going to get anything for him.
Yeah, they're gonna get less than we get for Drummond for Griffin, but yeah, it's just they have they traded Drummond. They have Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose. They got rid of. It's like you guys
They have Jeremy Grant. Grant is their best player. They got from the Nuggets, I believe.
And Grant is looking like he might be an all-star this year, but that name you never even heard before this year for the most part.
Right. Yeah, he's having a breakout year, but nobody would know about it because he's playing over in Detroit.
Yeah. So the Cavs are obviously not the best team in the league, but I'm glad I'm not a Pistons fan.
Yeah, me too. But maybe a change of scenery will be good for him. Maybe that'll get his numbers up or
it helped
go to a
Drummond.
contender.
Yeah, it helped Drummond. He's gonna get a contract. Ted, so that honestly, with this crappy week the Cavs had, there's not really a whole lot more to talk about. So you want to give us an obscure Cav of the week, and then we'll peace out over here.
Yeah. So let me pull it up here.
Let's go.
And just an update. It's 27-26 in the Cavs game right now. Cavs are up.
Oh yeah.
29-26 now. There we go. All right. So this guy played on the Cavs from 2010 to 2014. He started all 82 games in 2012 and 13. He had an 8-year NBA career, and his career averages are 6.6 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 1.1 assists on 32 43.5% shooting from three and 43.4% field percentage.
Dion Waiters?
Nope.
Not Waiters Island.
They played together though. Those two. He was the small forward for our squad.
Man.
I forgot about him, but once you hear it, you'll kick yourself unless you can get it.
I'm gonna kick myself because I need Zach here again. He would get it like that.
Oh, Zach would probably get this one. It's do you give up?
No, Jeff McGinnis.
Nope.
Okay, who we got?
It was our small forward. It was Alonzo G.
Oh my god! I literally
Alonzo.
same thing. Yeah, that's the guy you just forget about. Like
Right.
he didn't
He didn't do anything. He averaged 10 points a game for us, and he started all 82. But
if only he would have tried to get a triple-double by throwing the ball off the opposite backboard, then we would remember him.
Right. He would be a legend at that point.
That's one way to get remembered on this show. Thank you, Ricky Davis.
Thank you, Ricky Davis.
But hey, no, that's all I have. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, please give us a like, a subscribe, Apple Podcasts. It really helps us. 5-star review is great. Follow us on Twitter at CLE_ULT Warriors. We are the Ultimate Warriors. Ted, anything to add before we peace out here, buddy?
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And never forget, Warriors blew a 3-1 lead.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.